Nobody saw it coming. Not the fans, not the labels, not even Kendrick himself. When Cardi B publicly called for the cancellation of Kendrick Lamar's highly anticipated live show, the internet exploded. What started as a lyrical back and forth has now spiraled into full-on warfare, and Cardi just dropped the hammer. In an Instagram Live that hit over 1.8 million views in under an hour, she laid out exactly why Kendrick's latest move crossed a line, and why she's not letting it slide. But did she go too far? Cancel K. is trending, fans are split, and even celebrities are weighing in. What was supposed to be Kendrick's triumphant return to the stage has now turned into a viral storm of accusations, receipts, and chaos. This is no longer about bars. It's about boundaries, betrayal, and the battle for influence. And tonight, Cardi's not pulling punches. Let's break it down. The internet was already buzzing when rumors began circulating that Kendrick Lamar was preparing for a surprise pop-up concert in Brooklyn. But things took a sharp turn the moment Cardi B hit the Go Live button on Instagram that night. Draped in a red Balenciaga hoodie, hair tied back, no filter, Cardi came in hot. And she wasn't reading from a script. "I don't care who you are," she began. "You don't get to shade me one day and then stand on my turf the next like nothing happened. Nah, we not doing that, not this time." Within minutes, over 300,000 viewers flooded into the stream, then 700,000, then over 1 million. She had receipts, screenshots, voice memos, clips. The tone wasn't petty, it was surgical. What had sparked it? According to Cardi, someone in Kendrick's camp had reached out to a Brooklyn promoter known for working with Bronx-based artists, Cardi's Circle. The message allegedly included a not-so-subtle jab about how real lyricists bring crowds without needing controversy. Cardi took that as a shot. Then came the audio clip. She played a snippet, a voice, allegedly Kendrick's, saying, "Let them rage. I'll just show up and elevate the energy without yelling." Cardi's reaction? "Boy, don't play like you holier than thou when you been watching from the sidelines." She didn't stop there. She showed text exchanges between her team and the venue, exposing how Kendrick's people were allegedly booking spaces known for their history with New York female rap showcases, something Cardi has headlined for years. "Imagine trying to erase my presence in my own city?" Bet. Then came the hammer. Cardi publicly called on the venue to cancel Kendrick's appearance. "This ain't about fear, it's about respect. And if y'all not gonna protect homegrown talent, we'll make sure y'all feel that." Hashtags like Kiyo Cancel K. and a Respect the Bronx surged within an hour. Fans immediately split into camps. Team Cardi praised her for taking a stand, calling out subliminal disrespect, and refusing to let major male rappers downplay female contributions to the culture. Others argued she was overreacting, that Kendrick never dissed her by name, and the cancellation demand was too far. But then came the twist. Kendrick's team responded. A rep posted a tweet that read, "We don't respond to noise. We speak in impact. No names, no context, just enough." And just like that, it was on. As the fallout from Cardi B's viral IG Live spread, the cultural ground beneath the hip-hop world began to shake. Cardi's demand to cancel Kendrick Lamar's surprise live show in Brooklyn wasn't just a bold move. It was an earthquake that sent shockwaves through fans, artists, venues, and media outlets alike. Within hours, the venue, an iconic but relatively small performance hall in downtown Brooklyn, announced it was postponing the event until further notice. That single sentence became the headline everywhere. Kendrick Lamar show canceled after Cardi B backlash. The internet lost it. Cardi supporters took a victory lap. Tweets flooded the timeline reading, "We stand with Cardi." Others said, "Respect the Queen of New York, period." For many, it was a rare moment of power, where a female rapper called out an industry giant and won. Fans referenced years of male dominance in the genre and said Cardi had broken another invisible ceiling. But the backlash came swiftly. Kendrick's fan base, often known for being loyal, intellectual, and fierce, went on the offensive. Hashtags like #Let Kendrick Speak and We Want the Show trended globally. TikTok creators posted emotional videos about how long they'd waited to see Kendrick live, especially since he rarely tours. Some even broke down in tears on camera. Others posted footage of themselves ripping up their Cardi B posters, saying, "You crossed the line." Celebrity voices joined the mix. Charlemagne the God said on The Breakfast Club, "This is starting to feel less like beef and more like sabotage. Kendrick didn't even name her. This might have gone too far." Joe Budden, always quick to pick sides, dropped a spicy take. "Cardi's playing chess with emotion, Kendrick's playing with legacy. These ain't the same stakes." But not everyone sided with Kendrick. Rapper Remy Ma tweeted, "Respect is a two-way street. If you move slick, expect pushback." Lizzo reposted Cardi's IG Live and added the caption, "Loud, powerful, right." Even Rihanna liked a post from a Cardi fan account that read, "Men been taking up space in silence. Let women shake it up loud." The divide wasn't just generational, it was philosophical. Kendrick represented control, subtlety, timeless artistry. Cardi stood for expression, immediacy, and fearless confrontation. The feud had evolved into a public referendum on what hip-hop should be in the 2020s. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, both teams scrambled. Cardi's team released a statement to Rolling Stone saying, "The artist has a right to stand her ground when disrespected, especially in her own city." Kendrick's camp remained silent, but insiders revealed he was deeply disappointed in the venue's decision to pull the show. Then came the leaks. A source close to Kendrick's team anonymously sent Pitchfork what appeared to be screenshots of initial outreach emails between his label and the venue, none of which mentioned Cardi or any targeted shade. The emails painted Kendrick's intent as pure, to connect directly with fans in an intimate setting. This only further complicated things. Fans began questioning if Cardi had jumped the gun. Did she misread the intent? Was she overly sensitive to her turf being invaded? Or were the leaked communications conveniently scrubbed? As public sentiment wavered, Cardi doubled down. She posted a TikTok montage of news headlines using the caption, "When you speak truth, they call it chaos." In the video, she danced to her unreleased track, Volume 4, which featured the now iconic bar, "Cancel the silence, not the screams. We built this city on Bronx dreams." The comment section blew up. Thousands of fans clapped back with hearts and praise, while Kendrick loyalists flooded the replies with clown emojis and lyrics from his previous songs about humility and restraint. Suddenly, YouTube was filled with Kendrick vs. Cardi reaction videos. Some creators broke down each move like a sports commentary. Others made rap feud tiers, ranking this beef alongside classics like Nas vs. Jay-Z or Nicki vs. Remy. A surprising addition to the chaos? A voice message leak from Offset. An anonymous page posted a recording allegedly featuring Offset speaking to a friend, saying, "I told her, chill with this Kendrick thing, but she Cardi. When she go, she go." The clip was short, but it reignited fan speculation about internal disagreements in Cardi's circle. Cardi didn't deny it. In fact, she reposted the leak with the caption, "Exactly, I go, and I ain't sorry." And then, out of nowhere, Kendrick responded. On his Instagram, he posted a black screen with a single sentence. "My silence is never your permission. No tags, no music, no explanation." The internet melted again. Was it a threat? A bar? A warning shot? His fans rejoiced. Cardi's fans said he still hadn't addressed the core issue, the alleged shade and the territorial disrespect. At this point, the feud had gone nuclear, no longer just about two artists, but about what each represented to their respective audiences. The dust from Kendrick's cryptic post hadn't even settled when something entirely unexpected happened. A voice from outside the feud stepped in and tipped the balance. J. Cole, the silent giant in this lyrical ecosystem, dropped a surprise single titled Middle Ground. No promo, no video, just a single post. When giants fight, someone has to rebuild the ground they broke. The track wasn't a diss. It was an open letter to both Cardi and Kendrick. Cole rapped, "She built a bridge with fire. He carved a crown from air. I just want the kids to breathe before we all disappear." The internet flipped. Fans praised Cole's maturity and the track's poetic brilliance. It didn't take sides, but instead called out the collateral damage, young artists silenced by fear of choosing the wrong hero. Middle Ground hit 5 million streams in its first 24 hours and climbed to number 1 on the Apple Music charts. Meanwhile, Cardi wasn't done. She launched her So Loud Not Sorry campaign across all platforms. Aimed at empowering women in music, the campaign partnered with Spotify, SoundCloud, and several female-led indie labels. The goal? To spotlight female rappers who had been ignored, disrespected, or sidelined. A 60-second teaser video for the campaign showed Cardi walking through a hallway of gold plaques, stopping at the end to stare into a mirror. She says, "They told me to quiet down. Instead, I made noise that echoed for years." It was raw, bold, and undeniably Cardi, but Kendrick's silence didn't last long. He followed up Cole's single by dropping a minimalist track on Bandcamp, titled Page 47. The description? "This ain't for Spotify. This ain't for charts. This is for peace I can't find." The track was classic Kendrick. Layered metaphors, hypnotic flow, jazz-fused beats. But buried in verse 3 was a set of lines that reignited everything. "I saw the mirror crack, watched the reflection scream. Loud don't always mean truth, just a louder dream." People lost it. Was he targeting Cardi again? Was this shade or just philosophy? Fans dissected every syllable like it was scripture. Reddit lit up with bar breakdown threads. YouTube analysts flooded the platform with 30-minute explanations. Meanwhile, Cardi tweeted, "Dreams are what got me here. I scream 'cause I remember being silenced. And that ain't fiction, baby." The back and forth had now birthed a movement. Young rappers, especially women, began posting their own verses under the hashtag #LoudNotSorry. TikTok was flooded with talent. Women from the Bronx to Berlin dropped bars about oppression, fame, struggle, and survival. It became more than beef, it became a statement. At the same time, Kendrick's side launched Legacy Labs, a platform encouraging young artists to submit conscious rap poetry for scholarship programs. He didn't speak much, but when he moved, it was with purpose. And then came the announcement. Cardi B and Kendrick Lamar were both invited to perform at the Freedom Verse Festival in Atlanta, a high-profile event focused on artistic freedom and cultural dialogue. The internet lost its mind. Would they both show up? Would there be a face-off? A reconciliation? A surprise collab? Speculation ran wild. Charlemagne the God said, "This could be the greatest cultural moment in modern hip-hop if it doesn't implode." Academics called it the collision of legacy and loudness, two forces that rarely coexist, now forced onto the same stage. In a pre-festival interview, Kendrick was asked if he'd share a stage with Cardi. He simply replied, "I respect what's real. Let's see who shows up." Cardi, in an Instagram Q&A, said, "If it's about truth, I'm always showing up, loudly." The world watched. The stage was set. As the sun set over Atlanta, all eyes turned to the Freedom Verse Festival, a high-stakes event that had gone from celebration to showdown. The lineup featured icons across the board, but the crowd came for one thing only: to witness Cardi B and Kendrick Lamar on the same stage after months of escalating tension, lyrical warfare, and cultural uproar. The venue, packed with nearly 25,000 fans and millions more watching via livestream, buzzed with anticipation. Rumors swirled. Would they perform? Would they acknowledge each other? Would this be another explosive moment? Or something deeper? First up was Cardi B. She hit the stage in a defiant all-black outfit with "Loud" embroidered across her chest. Backed by a live band, she opened with "Silencer," her now viral anthem from the Too Loud to Lose EP. The The crowd erupted. Her presence was magnetic, fierce, unapologetic, commanding. Then came the moment. "Tonight," she said into the mic, pausing for breath, "we ain't just rapping, we reclaiming." For every woman who was told she too loud to lead, for every city that had to scream to be seen. And yeah, I said what I said. The arena shook with applause. Her set lasted 30 minutes and ended with the now famous verse. "This ain't a warning, it's a wake-up. You write in metaphors, I wrote my name in flames." No mention of Kendrick by name. But the message? Clear. Then the lights went black. 15 minutes of silence. No announcement. No MC. No music. And then, a single spotlight. Kendrick Lamar walked out. No band, no DJ, just Kendrick and a mic, dressed in a white hoodie with the word "Listen" stitched in small letters over his heart. He stood silently for almost a full minute. Then he spoke. "Sometimes we yell 'cause we're afraid no one's listening. Sometimes we go silent 'cause the noise ain't real. But tonight, let's make it real." Boom! He launched into page 47, followed by a spoken word interlude about power, perception, and the weight of legacy. It was poetry, it was protest, and it was powerful. But then the unthinkable happened. As Kendrick rapped his final piece, he looked toward stage left, and out walked Cardi B. The audience screamed. Phones flew into the air. Twitter melted. She didn't say a word. She just walked across the stage, stood next to him, and nodded. Kendrick handed her the mic. "They wanted a war," she said, "but maybe what we needed was a mirror." A piano note played, then drums, then bass. Together, they performed a brand new, unreleased song titled "Louder Than Legacy." It was a call-and-response masterpiece, her voice fierce and rhythmic, his smooth and poetic. They didn't trade bars, they traded truths. Cardi, "They said I broke the code." Kendrick, "But codes were made to be rewritten." Cardi, "I showed my scars." Kendrick, "And I showed my silence." Together, "Now we show the world." The internet exploded. "Louder Than Legacy" trended #1 in 37 countries. Critics called it the greatest live rap performance in a decade. Others labeled it a cultural reset. Journalists compared it to Nas and Jay-Z's Reconciliation. But this felt bigger. This was an entire genre, evolving in real time. When the show ended, the two artists walked off stage arm in arm, not as enemies, but as forces who recognized the weight they each carried. Cardi posted on Instagram, "Loud ain't weakness, it's survival." "Salute to Kendrick for standing in the fire with me." Kendrick followed up with, "Legacy is louder when we build it together." And just like that, the battle was over. But the movement, only beginning. So, what just happened wasn't just a performance, it was a cultural breakthrough. Cardi B and Kendrick Lamar didn't just go head-to-head, they tore down the walls, separating expression and legacy, volume and vision. From cancellation to collaboration, we watched history unfold in real time. Now it's your turn to speak up. Did Cardi take it too far? Or was she standing up for something bigger than herself? Did Kendrick's silence speak volumes, or was his voice needed sooner? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you believe hip-hop is stronger when voices clash, not cancel. And hit that subscribe because trust, this isn't the last time the rap game will shift under our feet. Louder Than Legacy. Cancel K. Loud Not Sorry. Cardi B. Kendrick Lamar. Freedom Verse Festival. A.M. Cardib. Kendrick Lamar.